Hello guys, once again, welcome back to you all. Myself from Mujat. Today we are going to see class 9th biology part tissue chapter. Actually, tissue is very interesting and important chapter for biology students of class 9. So let's start and see about tissue. Before that, we need to define or we need to know a very simple definition of tissue. Actually, tissue is nothing but it is a group of cells that group together to form a particular function. To perform a particular function is known as tissue. How can we define it? A group of cells that are grouped together to perform a similar function is called tissue. So guys, यहाँ पर से हमें एक definition तो tissue का बहुत ही simple definition we got here over here. Now let me tell you how we can make tissues. Actually, tissues are made from cells. We already knew it. No need of any more discussion on it. But do you know, even tissues can be of two different mechanisms. It means that we can make tissue from two types. First one of similar cells, means that the cells which we will use is of similar property, similar appearance and similar nature. Whereas we can use different cells even as well. We will see where we are using different cells to make a particular tissue. That we will see later. Actually, in case of permanent tissue, complex permanent tissue, there we see in plants that different cells are grouped together to form a tissue of a basic or a particular nature. So how we can make it? By two ways, either by similar cells or either by different types of cells can be grouped together to form tissue. But they perform a similar or a particular function only. Now we are going to see some historical facts regarding to tissue. First fact is that what is the study of tissue? The study of tissue is called histology. Means that histology. This is very important for all because the study of organisms' life is known as biology, whereas histology is the study of tissues. Histos means tissue and logy means study of tissue. Now let's see another information regarding to tissue. Actually, tissue, the name was given by Bichek, one of the most famous biologists, who gave this term in 1792. Later, some more biologists or scientists gave certain more theories regarding to tissues which are not important for the class 9th level. Now we are going to see how we can identify tissue or what is the chain which is being made by every tissue. Actually, we are already known from the fact that every living organisms are made from cells. And now these cells are grouped together to form tissue. A group of tissues together perform a similar function is known as organ. When a group of organs are there, then we form or we get organ system. Then finally organism. So this is what the total chain that we are following in our daily life or through which we are made. Now let me tell you one more thing is that here we will only study regarding to two important organisms. One is plant and one is animal. Now let me differentiate both plants and animals. Plant, because of that differentiation only we will get easy to differentiate the plant tissues and animal tissues. Now let's differentiate plant and animal only. As we are already known from the fact that plants are mostly fixed on a place. Therefore, they need very less energy content, and also the tissues from which they are made are mostly of harder tissues and more supportive tissues because they need strength in order to protect themselves at one single place only. Whereas animals are always moving from one place to another. Whenever they get more danger or whenever they face danger, difficulties, they move on from one place to another. Hence, we can say that the tissues in animals are somewhat less harder or somewhat less harder than plant tissue. Now let me tell you another thing. As we are already known from the fact that most of the plant tissues are dead. whereas the animal tissues are living as compared to plant tissues. And one other thing is that we are known from the fact that plants are autotrophs, means that they prepare their own food. But what about animals? Animals are mostly heterotrophs, but one fungi is exceptional case. Now leave it that. But plants, comparing to plants, animals mostly are heterotrophs. And one more thing is that the height or the growth of plant is not considered or not finite or definite, whereas animals mostly have fixed height. They can't go up from that much height. That we will see later in diversity, which is the characteristic height given to every organism. Suppose human beings, the average height of human being is, suppose you know already, 5 feet 5 inch. That is what the normal or the average height of human being, but some exceptional height growth we see it. But this is what the basic differentiation between plants and animals. But let me introduce you one thing is that here in this video we are only going to cover the plant tissue. So without wasting our time, let's go and discuss regarding to plant tissue. Is it clear to you all guys? सभी अभी क्लियर है? कोई डाउट नहीं है? मुझे कमेंट करते जाइएगा. Thanks once again I'm telling you before starting and going regarding to plant tissue. Thanks once again I'm telling you because you all have done very really well. You have worked. Thanks for me because of. Thanks for that from me, from my heart, because you all have worked a lot regarding to anything, because you had asked so many questions in the last 7 days, because I think that you all are working and you all are searching. That's why you all are asking so many questions. Thanks for that. And always ask questions and then only you will learn more. Now we are going to see about plant tissue. The two main tissues are plant and animal tissues. Here we are going to see about plant tissue. Actually, plant tissues, on the basis of their dividing capacities, plant tissues are further divided into two. First one is meristematic tissue. Or meristem. The first tissue is that meristematic tissue. Let me tell you it. Is it coming all right? Meristematic tissue. Yes. Then second one is, after meristematic tissue, meristematic tissues can divide. Means that they allow or they make differentiation between them and they finally make another type of tissue which is known as permanent tissue. Permanent tissue. Actually, meristematic tissues are growth tissues, or we can say that they help or they support and the growth or enlargement of the body parts of plants, whereas the permanent tissues are not dividing tissue or not growing tissue. They are fixed tissue. By its name only we are getting permanent tissue. Again, on the basis of their location, meristematic tissues are further divided into three, that we are going to see later, and permanent tissues are again divided into three. In most of the cases you will see two only, but there is another exceptional type of permanent tissue that we are going to cover. Now let's start and see regarding to which tissue? Meristematic plant tissue. Actually this all is about plant tissue only, so you don't use anywhere animal tissue, because we are only dealing now with plant tissue. So first one is meristematic plant tissue. Meristematic plant tissue. Is it over? MPT means meristematic plant tissue. First of all, we will go through. Before that, let me tell you one more thing. Always study only three things in biology. Yes. I'm saying in reality. Don't go for anything more of any tissue, any cell, anything, any species, any disease. Means all chapter for class 9 and 10, you need to go through only three things. Which are they? First we will see about their nature, then we will see about their occurrence, and then we will go through the function. So let's start. First we are going to see about the nature of meristematic tissue. As we are already known from the fact that most of the students get confused regarding to nature and occurrence, because there is only a certain differences between both nature and occurrence. Now we are going to see about meristematic permanent plant tissue. Actually, as we are known from the fact that they are dividing tissues. They are dividing tissues, and the cells which make their tissues are not uniformly shaped. What the major thing is that this is what, suppose this is the merismatic tissue. What we can see over here is that they are very, very closer to each other, and here they are not uniformly shaped, means that everyone is having their own shape, and here we are having a nucleus in each cell. Over. And after that, there we are also seeing cytoplasm. This is the cytoplasm, and there we are having protection by cellulose. Now let me tell you one more thing. As they are, already I told you, they are living cells. They are living cells, means that the cells from which merismatic permanent tissues, plant tissues, merismatic plant tissue, MPT means merismatic plant tissue. For making the diagram simple, we have just located only certain features over there. That first thing is that they have nucleus. Each cell have their own nucleus, and even cytoplasm is also present over there. And they are mostly living cells, means that living cells make their. And one thing, as I told you, their shape is not fixed, as they are mostly irregular shaped. And one more thing is that they have cellulose coating on the walls of their cells. And now we are going to see about their types of merismatic tissue. Here, this much only we need to know, and we are going to see one more thing is that function, because the merismatic plant tissue is further divided into three. But before that, let me tell you, the main function of the merismatic plant tissue is actually growth in plants. Growth can be of stem, root, or anything, but the main function is growth or dividation or differentiation. Actually, after differentiation, means differentiation is a process through which the merismatic tissues further divide, and they lose the capacity to divide, and they form the permanent tissue. Now let me tell you the different types of merismatic tissue. First one is three types. First one is apical. Second one, lateral. Third one, intercalary. There are three merismatic plant tissues. First one is apical, second one lateral, and third one is intercalary. First, we are going to see about apical merismatic tissue. Actually, apical merismatic tissues are present only on those points where we can see the root and shoot apex, means that they are mostly present on the tip of the plant. Suppose that this is what a simple diagram or a simple structure of plant. Suppose this is the figure of a diagram of a plant. Here on the shoot apex and on the root apex, the tip of the points having apical merismatic tissue. What their main function is of enlargement in their height or in their growth, means that they are mostly located at the tip of the root and shoot apex, and their main function is to grow in the length of plant. Is it clear? Now we are going to see about the lateral meristem. Now let me tell you about the lateral meristem. Let's start and see about lateral meristem. Actually, lateral means sidewise growth. Here we are seeing upward downward growth, means vertically growth, but here we see that they grow in sidewise, means lateral area, in both sides, left and right side. Here lateral merismatic tissues are present here. They help in the elongation or thicker of the stem or any part of the body, but their main function is growth in sidewise or laterally. What about intercalary? Intercalary tissues are mostly located at the nodes or at the branches of plants, means that they are mostly present over here. What about their function? They make this harder or flexible in nature, means that they provide somewhat support to the nodes or branches. Now we are going to see as the overall function of meristematic plant tissue. First function is growth in height. Growth in height, which is mostly done by apical meristematic tissue. The second one is growth in stem, means that they help in the enlargement of or the thickness of stems or and any other parts of the body, which is done through lateral meristem. And the last thing is that they help, means the cells like intercalaries help in the strongation of, they help in the strength of the nodes and the branches. So overall we can say that meristematic tissue help to form permanent tissue. How they actually form the permanent tissue? Let me tell you about that only. And even let me tell you one more most important thing for meristematic plant tissue is that whenever plants get any injury, they are actually healed or overcome by meristematic plant tissue. This much only we have to study regarding to meristematic plant tissue, and even certain more things that we have not discussed till now is of nothing, because up to this content only is important regarding to meristematic plant tissue. Now we are going to see the process of differentiation and what is the resultant thing that we get by this differentiation process. The only three things which I told you that we have to see in every case is that nature, occurrence and function, because whenever we are known from these three things, then we have to study nothing. Now we are going to see the process of differentiation. Differentiation is the type of process involved in the formation of permanent tissue. Actually a process by which meristematic tissues group together and they lose the ability to divide, and finally they form the permanent tissue. So how we can define it? A type of process by which meristematic tissue is differentiated to form permanent tissue where they lose the ability to divide is known as differentiation, and the resultant thing that we get over the differentiation is known as plant permanent tissue. Permanent tissue. And as I told you, permanent tissues are further divided into three, but in most cases, in most things we have to study only two, but I will tell you the exceptional third type also, so don't worry about that. And let's see about the plant tissue, permanent tissue in detail. Now we are going to see by that only. But before that, let me tell you one major thing regarding to meristem. What is that? Let me introduce you. In most of the books, you will see that lateral meristem tissues having cambium bud. Do you know what is the meaning of this bud, cambium? Cambium. Actually, cambium is of two important types, two measurable types. First one is vascular cambium, and the second one is known as what? Is known as by another name, which is known as, wait for a moment. Wait guys. Yes guys, everything all right. Now I am working this much harder for you, so please share this video to everybody. We are discussing here cambium. Cambium is of two types, vascular cambium, another one is cork cambium. Let's see the differences between vascular cambium and cork cambium. Before that, let me tell you about the cambium. Cambium is nothing but it is a type of cells, or we can say that it is a type of thing which helps in the growth in what? Which help in growth of laterally inversion. Means that they help in the laterally sidewise growth. And even cambium is of two types, vascular cambium and core cambium. Vascular cambium means they are mostly transportive in nature, whereas core cambium are mostly providing a strength to the plant. Hence, here we are clear from the fact and we are clear from the words about the cambium. So is it clear? Is there anything more which you have to ask? Means that cambium is responsible for growth in thickness. Means, as I told you, literally growth is done by cambium. Now we are going to see about the permanent plant tissue. As we are known from the important thing is that plant permanent tissue. Permanent tissues are of three types. Three important types are there. First, we will see the first type, which is known as simple permanent tissue. Second one, complex permanent tissue, and the third one you will see only in exceptional case, but it is also important. This is known as a spatial permanent tissue. Now we are going to see about simple permanent tissue. Before that, let me tell you one major thing regarding to differentiation between plant simple and complex permanent tissue. Actually, simple permanent tissues are mostly made from only similar types of cells. Means that the cells which makes tissues are of similar nature or of similar characteristics. Means that similar types of cells make simple permanent tissue. Whereas in case of complex permanent tissue, the cells which makes them are of different nature. Means different types of cells make the complex permanent tissue. And what about spatial permanent tissue? A spatial permanent tissues are those tissues which are involved in the third function instead of simple and permanent tissue, which is known as, in case of expulsion or excretion of their waste material. As we can see in mostly plants, we saw gums. What do you mean by gums? Gums are actually their exported material or their wasted thing, the waste thing which comes out from their body through the bark cavium is gums, and the through which they are performed is the spatial permanent tissue perform that function. Now we are going to see about the simple permanent tissue. So let's start and see regarding to simple permanent tissue. Before that, once again I am telling you guys, this much I am working for you all. Please share this video to every student and don't forget to join our Telegram channel. So let's start and see regarding to permanent tissue. Permanent tissue. Even we are going to see about the simple permanent tissue first. Let's start and see about the simple permanent tissue. Let's see. Actually, simple permanent tissue wait guys. Yes guys, everything all right. Actually, simple permanent tissue is of three types, which is first one parenchyma, second one collenchyma, and third one scalenchyma. So we are going to discuss one by one. First of all, let me tell you once again the chain. There are three types of tissues which are present in most plants. First one is what we study about the mesomatic tissue, second permanent tissue, and third one exceptional tissue or special tissue. Then again, mesomatic tissue are divided into three, permanent tissues are divided into two. First one, simple permanent tissue, then complex permanent tissue. In case of simple permanent tissues, only similar types of cells are grouped together to form the tissue. Where in case of whereas in case of complex permanent tissues, the cells are mostly different types. Whereas the third one is our special tissue that we saw only. Then we are going to start the simple permanent tissue. Before that, we have to leave over here only, and those contents which we had not discussed, we will see in next video. Thanks for watching this video, and please ask me some more things regarding to cambium and more things which you need to ask from me. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day to you all. Meet you all in the next video, guys. Thank you once again. Have a nice day to you all, guys.